Good afternoon. It is Wednesday afternoon, about 2:30. We are going down the old Alcan. Well, actually, rephrase that. That's not true at the moment. We're still on the Richardson Highway. We get to Delta Junction. That's where the Alaska Highway starts. So technically still on the Richardson. It's the same hunk of pavement. You don't make any turns. It just changes from the Richardson to the Alaska or Alcan. Alcan, Alaska Highway, it's the same road. So I'm going down to Fort Nelson, British Columbia to swap trailers with a lower 48 guy. Been kind of slow on the haul road, and it's kind of blowing up there pretty good anyway. So this load's actually going to Great Falls, Montana. They asked me if I could take it all the way or I could meet the guy up there. I said, I'll meet him at Fort Nelson. If he comes up to the lower 48, then we got to try to get him a load back. This way, we don't have to do that. It won't be long. We'll be at Delta Junction, and then we'll be on the actual Alaska Highway, aka the Alcan. I've got a van trailer on. It's got household goods in it. I loaded it at another company in Fairbanks. It's for the military. Most of it came from Fort Wainwright, and it's going all over. It's going to Fort Hood, Texas. It's going to El Paso. We got stuff going to Korea. But we're taking it, I believe, like I said, it's going to end up in Great Falls, Montana for now. And I don't know if someone else is doing something with it after that. Well, I'm sure they are, but it'll get distributed out from there, I guess. There's large crates. From what I could see in the back, it's large crates. It's probably people's personal belongings, people in the military, you know. About Alaska, and Alaska's a lot like Australia in this. If you ever watch like the Australian guys on like Outback Truckers or something, you can get a whole mixture, a whole hodgepodge of different things that are just going down the lower 48 or going up to Prudhoe or coming back up to Alaska. You know, it's not like a uniform set of things like traditionally you would get down in the States. You know, it's like, okay, we got a truck heading south, or we got a truck heading north, and, we got this, and this going, and then we got another customer that's got this different stuff going. It can be one thing, or it can be a whole mixture of things. Last trip I made down here, I had a flatbed load. It was one thing. It was a drivetrain for Caterpillar, for a large piece of machinery. And it was going to Caterpillar in North Dakota. From Caterpillar in Fairbanks. So it was one thing. That was it. But they needed it, so there you go. And I've done that before. Just one thing. Like the other day, I took that one wooden box of Pluto. If somebody needs it, and there's nothing else going up there at that moment for us, well, that's what you're going to do. You're going to send it up there, especially if it's a hot load. -7 Fahrenheit right now, so it's a little warmer than it has been. -35 yesterday morning. I think it got close to -40 this morning in Fairbanks. It is unusually cold for this time of year, but I keep hoping it's going to warm up. It'll be a lot warmer to the south, I'm sure. I know it's above zero in Whitehorse, Yukon right now, but they are still getting below zero at night. I didn't notice till the sun started beating down on it how dirty this windshield was. That's a little better, I guess. I may go ahead and stop at Whitehorse and top off. I don't know. go ahead and fire it up. I started it the other day because it was like 8 degrees outside, so it wasn't quite as brutal outside. It's like minus 30. Unless you have a block heater on that thing, it's best not to really try to start it until it warms up. It takes that oil so long to get up there and start lubricating. So you'll spin a bearing on it. Moving very fast, but I'm not going to stress over it. Chances are he's going to turn off up here in town. I'm yawning already. Still got a long way to go, so I'm going to stop that. My usual plan when I leave Fairbanks, that area, is to get to Tesson Lake, Yukon. We'll see. Sometimes I'll stop in Whitehorse. I really try to get down to Tesson Lake. I always try to stop somewhere where I got a phone signal. Hauling that gold ore up to the Fort Knox mine. Sound you hear is ABS on the trailer. Every time I touch the brakes. It's the same trailer I had last time I went to Canada. Same van trailer anyway. Well, it's the trailer I brought back up. I brought a flatbed down. I don't know what I'll be bringing up this week. It may be the opposite. I may be bringing a van down, I may bring a flatbed back up. I don't know. Or it could be a van, could be a reefer. Just don't know. speed limit in these little towns, because a lot of times you'll see Alaska State Troopers hanging out, either here or over in Toke or somewhere like that. And it just ain't, I'm just not going to take the chance. Where the Alaska Highway begins, or I should technically say ends, because this is the highest mile marker. It starts at mile 0 in Dawson Creek, Alberta. So it begins if you're going south. So low. Like right now I'm doing 67, not 66. And I'm turning 1600 RPM. Get this thing up to 70 or over 70, it's screaming, man. It's screaming. It's geared for the haul road. It's geared really low. Do it if I have to. But I prefer doing it in one of our, lower 48 trucks. This guy's crawling. I don't know if he's turning. Maybe his lights don't work on his trailer or what. Maybe he's just going real slow. Right there. Let's see, I may go around him right here. Yep. I'll go around. We got all the snow machines and the sleds and everything. It's going out somewhere. Kids with them and everything. I can't wait for spring, man. I don't really want to run the haul road in the summer. I'll say I don't, I'll do it. I've got videos of it last summer before. It's a bumpy, muddy mess. But, it's no different than driving an oil field. But in March already. Record lows. When you're breaking record lows in Alaska, then you know it's cold. There's no doubt about that. See, last summer was a fairly mild summer for up here. I mean, last winter, I'm saying. Last winter. Pretty mild winter for up here. Not this one. A lot of people kind of like it because their philosophy is if you have a more gradual warming, like if it doesn't just one day start getting above freezing and then the permafrost starts melting, and that's when you have frost heaves, you know, it's when the ground buckles. If you have more of a gradual warming, they say it's a little easier on the permafrost. I don't know, it makes sense. Either way, everybody's ready for spring up. It's 77 degrees in Denver yesterday, or the day before. Almost 90 at the house. We've had a lot of wind, and that's bad for fires. I think the whole West is going to be burning this summer because it's been so unusually warm down there. It's been warm and dry. But we can say a prayer and hope that, it doesn't happen. It's only about 30 on the squeeze gauge, so it's not real heavy. We got a little bit of weight on there. It was snowing this morning down here in Whitehorse, Yukon, but it should be done by the time I get over there. With the side dumps. that interactive cruise down in the States. And beep, beep, beep when they get close. I'm not going to start passing somebody from a quarter mile back. That's stupid. Now, I don't want to put the front of this thing in the back seat either, don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to sit out there, you know, for any amount of time longer than I need to. You're in the oncoming lane. And, you know, your first question is, okay, do I need to make this pass? They were going like 50 to 65. So yes, I feel the need to make this pass. Can I make the pass? Yes. Am I going to start from way back there? No. Am I a little close to it for that few seconds? Yep, I definitely am. I'm not denying that. Am I going to do it again? Yep. I can see for a long way here. A long way. I don't really have to get quite as close. One good thing about the Alcan is there's not a lot of traffic on it. So I'm going to hit the gas a little bit, and I'll go ahead. Oh, there's somebody coming. Somebody coming. So you still got to be careful. You never know. They were probably in a dip up there. That's another reason why you don't want to fool around. Even if you say, there's nothing coming for a long ways. There was something coming. Now, if I'd have been 3/4 of the way around them, I'd have went on around. All right, now we're going to do it. There's somebody way up there, but they're a good ways up, I think. I think there's somebody up there. My point is, I know a lot of people get triggered when they see you close to somebody like that. Now, I'm not going to sit there and just steadily ride, you know, right up against somebody like that. Of course not. But I am going to get as close as I can without obviously hitting them before I jump out into the oncoming lane. And that's a perfect example. There's nobody coming. Oh, there's somebody. Like I said, I wasn't around them yet, no big deal. If I'd have been 3/4 of the way around them, you know, and then have to hurry up and get around them. But it doesn't matter what I do or what I say. I know there's always going to be one out there who's going to critique my driving. You know what? That's perfectly fine. I never stop learning. Never, ever, ever stop learning. Somebody out there has got a suggestion or anything, I'm always open to it, believe me. I'm not one of those, you know, Billy Big Riggers that thinks he knows everything. I get advice from guys who run the haul road all the time, a lot. You know, I'll ask them questions, hey, how do you do this, or what do you do about this? And they'll tell me, okay, I never thought about that. All right. He's got one of those, what they call a chain buddy. I've seen advertisements for him. I just noticed it's in the little pouch down here in the door. It's a long piece of flat iron. It's got two round, like pieces of, you know, sticking up. It's supposed to hook them into the chain, and I think it's supposed to help draw the chain closer. I've never used one. So I'll probably ask when I get back, hey, how do you use that chain buddy? I could probably find videos of it. I've just never used it. I'm sure some of you guys out there have. Sounds like it could come in handy. Especially with us, because we have these rock tires, as they call them, with the big lugs on them. And it's hard to get these chains to fit. Unless you've got an old set that's stretched out a little bit, it's hard to get them to fit. Because of the big lugs. They're made for that size tire, but I'm sure if I had regular highway tires on there, they'd probably fit easy. But I don't. So they don't. scales. She's a legend. Everybody knows her. I can't remember her name, but I know her. Get down in southern British Columbia, and those guys down there, they can be a bit more, shall we say, more like Americans. You know, they can be a bit ruder, a bit more harsh. Most of the guys up here are pretty cool. They know you got a hard job to do as it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're gonna bust your chops, man, if you're doing something wrong. But they're not pretty easy going. The scale up here in Tok, Alaska, though, whew, that guy is something else. Although it doesn't bother Alaska trucks as much as it bothers lower 48 trucks. You get a lower 48 truck come up here. Doesn't have Alaska plates, yeah, they can be hard on them. Well, let's see if we're gonna have a clean shot across the bridge. Four-wheelers behind them. Very narrow bridge. Don't want to meet another truck on it. The thing about the Alaska Highway when they built it, they didn't spend any more money on these bridges than they had to. As far as making them wide, you know, they just don't make them just barely wide enough. Get back out on the open highway again. It's kind of a boring part of the Alcan. This part, and then the part from Dawson Creek to about Fort Nelson. That stretch between the Yukon, British Columbia border, or let's say Watson Lake, and top of Steamboat, which is north of Fort Nelson, that's the best part. That's the real Alcan, man. I mean, that's the best part of it. The best scenery. The road is really challenging through there. A lot of twists and turns and switchbacks and everything. Now, as far as just like this being the best part, as far as it being a fairly straight, wide open road, yeah, this is the best part of it. But there's no fun in this. I could do this down in Nebraska, right? I could do this in Texas. I could do this in Kansas. Just wouldn't have as many trees. So most guys like that area around Muncho Lake, Summit Lake. I'll try to get a video in down there. I don't think I did last time. I've done it before. Find videos of it. But I know what you guys want to see. You guys want to see the haul road. Y'all want to see the Dalton Highway. Right? Y'all want to see Adigan, Beaver Slide, Ice Cut. Y'all want to see all that, you know, snow and wind, and of course you can get that here. But it's a beautiful day today. Now the other day when I left, it was snowing. I think I did a video on that. You guys want the excitement? I don't blame you. I understand. Boat ramp in the summer. Don't call them snowmobiles up here. They'll tell you go back to Wisconsin. They're snow machines. About this bridge. Don't see anybody coming the other way, you know. hope we don't have that problem again. Got 2 brand new steer tires, so it shouldn't. Maybe if we acquire Greenland, maybe they'll start building some roads in Greenland. I wouldn't mind going over there. Be a good way to finish off my career. Either there, Australia, or the Middle East. I'd like to go to Europe, but man, there's so much traffic in Europe. I just don't know if I want to deal with that. You European guys, man, you got my respect having to deal with all that traffic. It'd be like running the East Coast of the United States every day, and that's all you do. I mean, I know there's some areas, I think like Spain's a little more wide open and such, but those guys are running a lot between UK and, you know, they cross over into France and go to Germany and places like that. I know there's a lot of traffic they have to deal with. Long, it'll be daylight up here pretty much all day and night. 24 hours. Won't be long. guys out there that are paying a mechanic to change glad hand seals. I don't know. I hope he was trolling. Get the tow, can get fuel, I'll check the weather up ahead and everything, because after that I lose the signal. Pretty much all the way to the Canadian border. It'll come back and forth a few times. Dot Lake coming up. Yep, here it is, the big city of Dot Lake. City of Dot Lake. Yeah, it's a pretty boring drive through here. Boring's okay though. Boring means there's nothing, nothing bad happening. But it doesn't do good for viewers. Video over an hour. Man, it's just so hard to upload up here. Unless you have Wi-Fi, good Wi-Fi. It's really difficult. summer, yeah, you got the tourists. But even out here, it's fairly quiet, especially at night. Most of the tourists or whatever stop for the night or whatever they're doing. Out here, that guy right up his backside, man. Bridges. Across another frozen river. I missed that gear. Hit the gas a little too quick. I can just hear it in the comments now. Hey, there he goes. Doesn't know what he's doing. Doesn't know how to drive. Different automatic. When I'm splitting gears, sometimes my foot gets going a little too quick. Now, if I'm pulling a steep hill, I'm very conscious about that, and I don't do that. But I'm just nonchalantly driving flat ground or just a little bit of a hill or something. Yeah, I got a bad habit of letting off the gas, or flipping the button, letting off the gas, and hammering on it again real quick. Instead of waiting a second. Now, I'm not going to do like some of these guys. They'll go to split a gear and they'll spin what seems like an eternity between gears. Then by the time they get into the next gear, they've slowed down too much and they're lugging. There's a happy medium there. He was on the road there for a second. He's in a pull out. You should just have Kenworths. I see they're running Kenworths and Peterbilts now. Kenworth probably couldn't supply them with enough trucks. They use quite a few trucks. big city of Toke. And I said I wasn't going to go over an hour on this video, and here we are. So I might as well just run it till I get up here and get stopped for fuel. Still got 3/4 of the tank, but I always like to top off out here. That's what we got to buy in Canada. After all this time, I finally downloaded TikTok, but I never use it. So maybe one day I'll put a video on it. I don't know. I just never really had a desire to be on TikTok, especially after you watch some TikToks that people put out there. I mean, they got some people doing stupid stuff on YouTube as well, and Rumble, you know, all of them really. Dude, you're already doing 45. I don't know why you're slowing down right here. Speed limit was 50. With 55 back there, they slowed down to 45. Now it's 45, they slowed down to 35. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. If I decide to do something on TikTok, I'll post it or something. I'll post the link. Or I'll tell you. I don't know if I will or not, though. Turning or what? No, I guess not. They hit their brakes, thought maybe they were going to turn. Yep, they're hitting their brakes again. Now they're going to turn. All for being careful, don't get me wrong. I try to be careful. Try not to get in a big hurry. The scale's probably going to be open on the other side of town, but definitely not overweight, so not worried about it really. There's the road, the Glen Allen, or the Toke cutoff. I mean, it takes you to the Glen Allen. Glen Allen comes in there at Delta Junction. Out there, bro. I'm going to turn right up here anyway. And there's a truck. Dadgummit. See him, the fuel island? No, he's on the outside. Tri-State. Wow. Never seen one of those guys up here before. Huh. Oh yeah, he's parked. Alright. You got one fuel island. No, he's getting fuel, but he's on that side over there. Or he's parked, he's in the way. One of the two. Doesn't matter to me because I can get in over here. And you can fill up both at the same time, which is a luxury in Alaska. Yeah, it's a tri-state truck, I'll be darned. Alright folks, I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. It's gone on way too long. I'm going on duty here for fuel. Yeehaw. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to do another video up here. I don't know when I'm going to be able to post this. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching.